Namaskar. Public administration. We are going to study, and in this class of public administration, we are just going to complete the first part, and the first part was of this introduction topic. What? Wilson's vision on public administration. So, what we have studied till now related with the Wilsonian vision, that was basically focused and emphasized on the background in which Woodrow Wilson has written his essay, The Study of Administration, in 1887. So today, before starting the class and the topic, not the class but the topic, as I have told you people that first of all, we will see the questions of the previous years of UPSC so that we can have an insight what we need to get from any particular topic. So when you will see the topics or the questions of UPSC related with this Wilson's vision and public administration topic, you will see that the questions have been asked. Number of questions have been asked, and they are related with the dichotomy idea of Wilson. Okay, and the questions which have been asked from this dichotomy idea of Wilson actually are related with his core idea, and the core idea was to dichotomize, and the questions which have been asked by the UPSC in the previous year's examinations are several, manipulated with the language, and in some questions there are some factual informations of the periphery of Wilson included. Okay, so what are the peripheral aspects and the facts? We will discuss each and everything in the class. Pehli baat. Secondly, the questions related with the dichotomy can be asked in the form of the statements given by Woodrow Wilson. Statements like, if you can recall, I have told you that Woodrow Wilson has said that politics makes laws while administration applies them systematically. Okay, so that statement can also be asked, and the question which have been asked are just simple question bhi hai, like discuss the politics administration dichotomy idea of Wilson. So the questions are also like, It is impossible to dichotomize politics and administration. The questions are also related with several other aspects of the dichotomy. Means in the core of the question will be dichotomy, and the questions will be some periphery. The questions might be some peripheral questions. So what we are going to do, we are going to deal each and everything, whether that is peripheral or the core, whatever, in this dichotomy idea. Second type of questions with the statements like, as you have studied in the class, public administration is a science, make it more scientific. Okay, the questions like public administration is a business, make it more business like. बट इसमें और भी कुछ आ जाता है कि विल्सन, probable question I am going to tell you, Wilson was against the bureaucratic elite, and the question may be discuss the Wilsonian idea of bureaucracy. Okay, so these things are kind of peripheral. आपने सुना नहीं है, कल भी हमने इस पर बहुत बात नहीं की है, but there are the realities, there are the topics expanded. ओके, और जो है लिबर्टी और कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अरेंजमेंट, उससे तो क्वेश्चन पूछा ही जा सकता है, वो मैंने आपको पहले ही बताया था. ओके, so the questions related with the liberty and constitutional arrangement, and one more question can be there, political control over administration. And if this question will be asked or may be asked in this manner that, don't you think that the idea of politics administration dichotomy is contradictory with the advocacy of political control over administration by Woodrow Wilson himself? So the questions and the language of the questions may be anything. You have to have focus on the discussion of the topic, and you have to make your handwritten notes and in the same manner as I have told you. Okay, chaliye. So we are going to start the topic Wilson's vision on public administration. Though one part is completed, now we are discussing this topic in a very detailed manner. So the first is that, first thing, how you will write your introduction. And I have told you, whenever you will write the answer, there will be kind of ready-made introduction. In most of the cases of paper 1 and the most of the topics of paper 1. So here what will be your ready-made introduction? So your introduction should be like Woodrow Wilson was a professor in political science. in USA. He wrote an essay titled The Study of Administration in 1887. In his essay, Woodrow Wilson advocated the idea of politics administration dichotomy and have given very detailed idea upon the administration. Okay, 2, 3, 4 lines. You can make it in your own language. There is no issue. You can make it in your own language. Okay? But remember that the introduction should not be too long. Okay? Now we are going to study each and everything in a very detailed manner. First thing, so first idea in the essay what he has given, he said, अब आपको कहाँ से शुरू करना होगा? So Wilson said that the politics makes law while administration applies the laws systematically. Okay? Administration applies the laws systematically. Therefore, he made it in this manner. He made it with this statement. He made it clear that the functions of the politics and administration are separate. That is why he said that, or he advocated, used the term advocated. That is why he advocated that there should be a separation between politics and administration. You can write here also in the body content that what Wilson have observed. So Wilson have observed that there is unnecessary interference of politics in administration on the one hand, and the political science as a discipline was dominating the administration. There was nothing developed and said in the field of administration. There was no any discipline developed like public administration or administration. Therefore, he observed that the reason for the inefficiency and lack of economy in administration is the same. He also had the view that there is no any systematic body of knowledge of administration. That is why there is a problem in the implementation. There is no professional bureaucratic system. There is the problem of permanency of the bureaucracy. And in this manner, the spoil system was spoiling almost all the sphere of administration. Okay? Therefore, to check all these problems or to reform the system, he advocated politics administration dichotomy idea. Okay? According to him, if the politics and administration shall be separated, then what will happen? Then a separate body of knowledge can be developed, separate body of knowledge of administration will be developed, and he demanded also. Similarly, in the administration, the spoil system will be removed, and that will result in a professional bureaucratic system as well as a permanent bureaucratic system. Clear? If anything is not becoming clear, please write here. Please send me. But the problem is, Wilson has advocated that there should be separation between politics and administration. But the problem is, can politics and administration be separated? Is it possible? Is it possible? So the answer is no. Politics and administration cannot be separated into a watertight compartment form. Regions. ध्यान से समझिएगा, एकदम अटेंटिव होकर के, and make your notes also. The politics, and there is no any possibility of watertight compartment like separation between politics and administration. Why? ध्यान से समझिएगा. The reasons why that cannot be separated. The reason number one. Okay, the reason number one. Administration works in a political environment. Administration works in a political environment. What it means? Political environment means the bosses or the masters are the political leaders, not the bureaucrats. Okay? It means, इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? It means the bureaucracy works under the political bosses. Okay? What they decide, what politics decide, they have to follow. Okay? So this is a kind of political environment. As Wilson himself said that politics makes laws, ये मेंशन जरूर करना जब मैं बोल रहा हूं. As Wilson himself said that politics makes laws and administration applies them systematically. Read, please remember and write. Second thing, second point, with the growing complexity in the government. ठीक है? So the दूसरा reason क्या है? The second reason is growing complexity of या in नहीं ऑफ ही करिए ऑफ गवर्नमेंट फंक्शंस और गवर्नमेंटल फंक्शंस, सरकार के जो कामकाज हैं उसमें बहुत कॉम्प्लेक्सिटीज बढ़ गई हैं. उसके बाद एंड कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी, द कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी brought politics and administration more closer. It brought politics and administration more closer. Okay? More closer. Third point, कैसे क्लोज आ रहा है? कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी बढ़ता गया और वर्कलोड भी बढ़ता गया. ठीक है? ग्रोइंग कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी ऑफ गवर्नमेंट एंड वर्क भी कर सकते हैं वहां पे. यू कैन राइट द कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी एंड फंक्शंस ऑफ गवर्नमेंट. लिखा ही है, सॉरी, कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी ऑफ गवर्नमेंटल फंक्शंस. ठीक है, चलेगा. ओके, देयर इज नो प्रॉब्लम, एग्जैक्टली फाइन. थर्ड इज delegated legislation. This is also the reason. ये क्या है? Those who are new should know. Delegated legislation means actually what happens? The lawmaking power is of the legislature. Legislature in India at the central level, parliament, and in the state level, states, it is called as state legislature. So what is here? The laws should be made and can be made by the legislature only. But what happens? The political leaders, mean the politicians in the legislature, in the parliament or in the state legislature, they just formulate and bring a kind of skeleton of the law. Skeleton of the law means broader जो है उसका framework, the broader framework, policies and the principles are there written only, but not the detailed rules and regulations of that particular law. To write the detailed rules, regulations and all, the parliament or the state legislature assigns this duty to the executive, and the executive through the ministry of law क्या करेगा? उसको सीधे सेक्रेटरिएट भेजेगा. एंड इन द सेक्रेटरिएट who are the people? The public officials, the bureaucrats, the people who are the part of the administration. Is that clear? So this is what? Delegated legislation. So if the delegated legislation is being followed, it means that there is the closeness of politics and administration. No separation. ठीक. अगली बात, Next point, if anyone is not getting, can say me, can write me. Okay, anyone. Though I'm trying to make it more and more and more simple. Next reason why cannot be separated is with the change in the nature of the state. Politics and administration came more and more closer. Kaise? How it happened? Just see. What was the condition during the laissez-faire era? No any separation kind of कुछ नहीं था. Everything was in the hands of the rulers or the politicians. Okay. Thereafter, what happened? Interventionist. And when the interventionist state emerged, it changed the functioning of the government as well as in the volume of the functions of the government. Volume of the functions of the government grown enormously, बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ गया. आपको बता चुका हूँ पहले ही क्लास में. Secondly, क्या हुआ? Functions became more and more complex. So what happened? Due to this interventionist state, several functions which would have been dealt by the politics were assigned to administration. So what happened? More closer. अच्छा, इधर क्या था? Here politics was there, but administration was absent. Administration तो यहाँ है ही नहीं ना. No civil administration. I have told you only the police state. तो कोई मतलब ही नहीं है ज्यादा बहस करने का. But here क्या हो गया? बहुत बढ़ गया और चेंज हो गया. And when after the liberalization, state became regulatory state. Okay. So in the regulatory state, ऐसा तो हुआ नहीं कि काम कम हो गया. In the regulatory state, complexity is more than any time. बहुत कॉम्प्लेक्स हो गया. इसके पहले जो था उससे कई गुना ज्यादा कॉम्प्लेक्स हो गया. सो कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी और बढ़ गई. कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी ग्रोन. तो क्या हुआ? नाउ पॉलिटिक्स एंड एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन are more closer than ever. Okay, they are more closer than ever. ये जो है अब क्या हो गया है? ये किसी भी समय की तुलना में आज जो है ये दोनों ज्यादा क्लोज हैं. क्यों? ड्यू टू दी रेगुलेटरी स्टेट. एग्जाम्पल very simple. I have told you in the nature of the state class that the things are being performed by the administration and politics jointly. There are several tribunals and regulatory authorities. And regulatory authorities are authorized to make rules and regulations for that particular area, sector, whatever. तो क्या हो गया? इसके कारण और ज़्यादा नहीं हो सकता. And due to the growing complexity, why these things are happening in this manner? So reason is also the complexity is grown, and if the complexity is there, then experts are needed. So the expert knowledge of administration, or we can say the requirement of the expert knowledge of administration increased in a very enormous manner. बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ गई, और जब ज्यादा बढ़ जाएगी, then what will happen? Experts will be called. Recently you have heard that the lateral entry in Indian administration is permitted by the government. Lateral entry का मतलब होता है कि those who are having expert knowledge, whether they are within the government or not, मतलब वो कोई सरकारी नौकरी में है या नहीं है. If anyone is having expert knowledge of a particular field and is working in any private organization or private sector or as a professional itself, then he can be appointed as the public official. तो ज्वाइंट सेक्रेटरी लेवल पर जो अभी अपॉइंटमेंट हो रहा है, ये क्यों ऐसा पड़ रहा है जरूरत? सो द गवर्नमेंट इज सेइंग that the complexity is very high, increased in a very enormous manner, manifold increase is there, but the officials are not too capable to cope up. इसलिए हम बाहर से ले आ रहे हैं. चलिए, तो ये क्या हो गया? ये सारा कुछ हो गया. So these are the reasons why the politics and administration can't be separated into or in a watertight compartment manner, but there is still the need of the separation. And if you see the background in which that 1887 essay was written by Woodrow Wilson, then you can recall that he was actually, means Wilson was actually concerned with the unnecessary interference of the politics into administration, and that unnecessary interference is still not required. The administrative system of the world, especially in India, it is still being advocated that the individuals should not interfere. Political interference in the day-to-day administration have become a big challenge and problem before the public officials as well as before the public itself. What is going on? Administration is not working. And that is why the problem exists and persists. Okay? So, in this context, here, what we have to write? We have to say that though there is no possibility to make a complete separation between administration, politics and administration, then and it was felt by Woodrow Wilson himself in 1891, when he wrote in 1891 that administration must be controlled by the politics or the politicians. It means that he advocated that there should be political control over administration, and he has given the reason also. He said, लिखते चलिएगा एक चीज, he said that politics should control, or there must be political control over bureaucracy, because bureaucracy has a tendency. किस तरह का टेंडेंसी है उसके पास? Bureaucracy has a tendency to make bureaucratic elite. ब्यूरोक्रेटिक इलीट का मतलब क्या हुआ यहां पर? ब्यूरोक्रेटिक elite. Bureaucratic elite means the bureaucrats try to get more and more power and wealth, and they try to make that concentrated into their hands. So Wilson said they have the tendency to create or to make bureaucratic elite. Further, you have to write he was against the bureaucratic elite. That is why he himself advocated political control over bureaucracy. ठीक है? Thus, it can be said that Wilson was having the idea that the watertight compartment-like separation is not possible between politics and administration, and his idea, ध्यान दीजिएगा, but his idea was not contradictory to his advocacy of political control over bureaucracy, because he wanted to make it clear that there should be removal of unnecessary interference of bureaucracy. Removal of unnecessary interference of politics in administration. I am sorry, कुछ गलत बोल गया था मैं. There should be removal of the unnecessary interference of politics in administration, as well as He wanted to remove the unnecessary interference and dominance of political science in the field of study of administration, so that a systematic body of knowledge of administration can be developed, and thereby finally the efficiency and economy of administration can be improved and increased. So this is the total discussion of this politics administration dichotomy idea. Remember, the question can be asked in any form. For example, the question may be asked, Wilson was against the creation or the formation of bureaucratic elite, or against the bureaucratic elite. You can write the answer. Okay, तो नेक्स्ट जो टॉपिक है वो है कि विल्सन हैज सेड एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन इज अ साइंस, मेक इट मोर साइंटिफिक. बट माय डियर फ्रेंड्स, आज कुछ ऐसे ही थोड़ा मजा सा नहीं आ रहा है मुझे, फीलिंग अंदर से अभी अचानक से. सो आई एम जस्ट वाइंडिंग दिस क्लास. टुमारो वी विल डिस्कस दैट. और दूसरा ये भी रीजन है कि दैट आल्सो विल टेक मोर एंड नॉट लेस देन half an hour 30 minutes class for the science of administration, so that will not be completed also. So tomorrow I'll take that class. Thank you for the day. Thank you.